And then we have Lent leading up to Easter, another birth of Christ, right? Another rebirth of Christ. And that's all about, the heaviness. It's not a joy. It's not supposed to be a joyful time. It's supposed to be an introspectful time. I don't think it has to be burdensome. It doesn't have to, we don't have to repent. We just need to be introspective. And it's not so much about giving up that which no longer serves us. That I said that for years because that's what I learned. Lent is about giving something up. It's about fasting. It's about giving up that which no longer serves us. If we shift the way we look at this just slightly, I think it becomes more powerful. If I can give up that which is an obstacle in my Christ expression, that's what Lent's about. It's not about what doesn't serve me. It's about what is my obstacle to living into my own greatness. And so many times we are taught that the obstacle is our humanity. The obstacle is our ego. Bleh. The obstacle is not your ego. The ego is, I want you to hear this, the ego is the mechanism through which we express our Christ. Our ego is the mechanism through which we express our Christ. How do I know that? Because I have known people who have lived into their greatness and they're not all the same. They're different. Some are quiet and gentle and you feel the love oozing off of them. Some are vibrant and loud and fill you with excitement just by being in their presence. They have different personalities, different gifts to bring the world. Your ego isn't the problem. Your ego is just a mechanism through which our Christ is expressed. So where's the problem if not the ego? It's your woundedness. It's your woundedness. And we mistake that for the ego. We think our woundedness is the ego. No, you're not supposed to be wounded. You're supposed to have an ego, though. How many of you have some woundedness? Okay, not everybody. Okay. We all have some woundedness, right? And we've heard about these archetypes that we carry around. I'm a big fan of Carolyn Mace, and she has a whole thing about archetypes and how they show up in the world. And how, she says we all have a child archetype, we all have a victim archetype, all of those things. And those are developed from our woundedness, right? Victim consciousness. You're not going to feel like a victim if you haven't felt wounded. How can we turn that, though, into, I call it turning it into a superpower. So if I'm a victim and I'm working to get over my victimhood, my victim consciousness, how do I turn that into a superpower? How do I turn that into a part of my healthy ego in which I can express my Christ? I might say, I understand you feel abandoned. I've felt that too. Or I understand that you feel unheard, because I have felt that too. People who are domestic violence survivors often become advocates for other victims. People who are addicted to substances often become sponsors and advocates for people who have addiction issues, right? That's growing and evolving and healing your woundedness and turning it into a superpower. And I think that's what Lent is about. Where's my woundedness? How is it an obstacle in my Christ expression? And then how can I turn that obstacle into a superpower? People who've been victimized are more compassionate. It's scientifically measurable. And who would argue with the quality of compassion being a superpower, right? So as we move through this Lent season, I am inviting you to not think of it as giving up chocolate or a certain food or a certain meal, or even I'm gonna give up my addiction to television or whatever it is. Think of the season of Lent as your opportunity to tap into the collective consciousness of giving something up and stepping into greatness. We don't have to tap into the collective consciousness of I'm just a lowly sinner, so I need to repent and feel bad about myself. I'm a human being, I make mistakes, I get to evolve past them. Yay. Right? That just feels so much better. I really believe that part of what's happening in the world is this collective call for each individual to heal their woundedness and step into their greatness.